Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. XRP threatens JP Morgan, and you know what? Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank fame, no less. And this is a quote, says, "Does Jamie Dimon feel threatened? You are damn right he does." And I will note he was talking about crypto in general when he said that quote. But my gosh, like when you're talking about JP Morgan, I firmly think that all of this just absolutely terrifies him. And it's interesting because he recognized that there's a certain amount of demand from even their customer base. And so it's not that they're not, adopting Bitcoin for their customers in any sort of way, but they are going to be among the laggards in terms of adoption if something doesn't change. And it's because of the guy at the helm here. And XRP is going to change the way that everything moves around because so many things are going to be tokenized in the future. There won't be markets for everything that you could possibly have. There won't be trading pairs for them the world over. You need to have a jurisdictionless, decentralized cryptocurrency to facilitate the trade globally. And XRP is the only crypto that's being positioned for that and is also technologically suited for it. So I want to share with you some thoughts on that, but before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So look, the cryptocurrency asset class terrifies JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, and many in positions of extreme power in the world of legacy finance. However, the shift we're witnessing before our very eyes to the internet of value is going to happen whether JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon likes it or not. He would do better to position his firm as an early adopter of crypto and be a champion of it. But that would call for a drastic change to their business model, and it's clear that's not something he's willing to embrace. He's not visionary. And he doesn't have the guts necessary to be among the first movers in this new paradigm. But others are. BlackRock, case in point, BlackRock, the world's largest investment firm on the entire damn planet, is jumping into crypto head first. What's going to facilitate the transfer of value in this new world? My bet is that XRP is going to be playing a massive role in the new financial system. It will be able to connect assets of all types in an increasingly tokenized world. And there is broad anticipation of an eventual world where utility will be a requirement for the long-term viability of any cryptocurrency. And such a world would bode well for XRP, which is one of the only cryptocurrencies on the entire freaking planet that actually solves real problems for real people and businesses. It's one of the only cryptocurrencies that is used every single day in enterprise-grade software. And all of you listening may be aware of this, but that's because you're an extremely early adopter of XRP. All of you listening are. Almost no one else on the entire planet knows what you know. Just a fraction of a percent of humans have ever held XRP at any point in time. This truth represents opportunity for life-changing wealth as far as I'm concerned, that's for sure. It pays to be right about technological adoption before everyone else agrees with you. When you're early in calling for and betting on changes in society, technological advancement, there will be no shortage of people who will say you're wrong and will tell you that you're crazy. Early adopters of Google and Amazon were told the same thing. Not everyone's visionary, folks. Look, it doesn't mean I have 100% conviction regarding the long-term viability of XRP, but I don't have 100% conviction about pretty much anything in life. It doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that I'm not confident. Look, I say this because I'm a realist. But my conviction is strong, and I believe, based on all information publicly available today, that XRP is here to stay and will be worth an absolute fortune in the future. It's just we really are truly that early to this whole process. And so take a look at this article from Cointelegraph. titled JP Morgan CEO Feels Threatened by Disruption in Payment Systems, Kevin O'Leary. JP Morgan Chase's CEO Jamie Dimon feels threatened by how the crypto space is disrupting the payment system, stated Shark Tank host and multi-millionaire venture capitalist Kevin O'Leary, speaking at a Converge 22 panel on September 28th. O'Leary made his remarks after Dimon declared himself as a major skeptic, and that's a quote. And again, I want to reiterate, it's not that JP Morgan is doing nothing to adopt Bitcoin. They are, which makes Bitcoin the banker's coin, doesn't it? Isn't that what years ago the Bitcoin maxis hating XRP would call XRP? They called it the banker's coin. And now here you have JP Morgan. They're still adopting it to a certain degree. It's just that Jamie Dimon, he does not believe in it. He is not visionary. And it's a shame for JP Morgan because this guy's at the helm. It's not good. This is the biggest shift in terms of wealth. And I do mean this. This is going to prove to be the biggest shift of wealth in the history of our species. That's what this represents. There's never been anything like this, ever. And I don't think there will likely be ever again. So again, he called it a major skeptic. He says he's a major skeptic on crypto tokens, which you call currency like Bitcoin, referring to them as decentralized Ponzi schemes. In his testimony to the United States Congress last week. So I'll pause it out. I don't think he knows what the hell a Ponzi scheme is because a Ponzi scheme requires somebody actually scheming, like an actual central authority. The idea of multiple, people independently scheming at the same time, that would require coordination. So the comment makes no sense. It's just a thing that he said because he hates crypto so much, because he's just not visionary. Anyway, piece continues. O'Leary explained that friction is one of the major problems in the traditional financial system and that it's how banks profit on transaction fees, adding that stablecoins could lead to a reduction in fees throughout the world. So let's pause and note, this is the type of thing that terrifies JP Morgan. This is why XRP terrifies JP Morgan. In this degree, now it shouldn't. They should recognize this is all happening whether they like it or not, and they should be first adopters. It shouldn't terrify them. There's always a path forward. Industry gets disrupted all the time. I know it. I've been a business owner for 12 years. The business model that I had when I launched my business became, after a few years, irrelevant, and we had to pivot or else we would have gone out of business, but we did pivot, and now we're in business, and now it's been this January, it'll be 13 years. You have to acknowledge that. You don't just hate it and then not do anything and fight back against the change. No, you accept the change, and you move forward. XRP is here, and in an increasingly tokenized world, you're going to need to bridge more and more stuff, whether he likes it or not. That is what's happening. So I get it. You make your money from all these transactions. Well, you better find a way to pivot, or you're going to have some trouble, Jamie Dimon. But here's a quote from Kevin O'Leary on this. This isn't about speculation on asset price. This is about reducing the fees of how the world's economies work. More transparent, more productive, completely auditable, regulated, but less expensive. So, does Jamie Dimon feel threatened? You are damn right he does. That is a big part of how he makes money, end quote. Golf clap for Mr. O'Leary, everybody. He gets it. And so I'm fine. O'Leary, he's not talking about XRP specifically here. It's on the same topic. It's the same thing, and XRP is at play here. You better freaking believe it. That's for damn sure. Piece continues. Regarding the regulatory environment in the United States, the venture capitalist explained that sovereign wealth and pension funds are waiting for regulation before adding digital assets to their portfolios, noting that, and here's another quote, if you are a sovereign wealth fund or a country that is oil rich, perhaps you are generating $250 million in the 12 hours. The only place on earth you can plot that is in the S&P. The only way you can do that is to be compliant with the SEC rules. They are never going to make a move against the SEC in any way until these rules are determined, end quote. Now, on that point, I do firmly agree. The asshats at the SEC are slowing things down. The degree to which crypto is getting adopted, it's fantastic. I mean, if you look compared to the beginning, it's pretty fantastic. It's very clear it's here to stay. It's impressive in that regards, but it's still so early, and the SEC's holding us back. And so we can theorize as to why. Is it it's a plausible theory that, Kim Jong-un's and his cronies just waiting to make sure they're getting their buddies in. The good old Wall Street buddies hey, how about BlackRock? They're jumping into crypto now. Because understand, firms like BlackRock, they are, like, that's the most connected damn, investment firm on the entire planet. They know everyone. They are friends with everybody at the highest levels of the United States government and other governments the world over. And so to think that that wouldn't have some sort of impact on regulation, I think is a little naive, perhaps. So I will not be surprised if BlackRock gets the first Bitcoin spot ETF. I would not be surprised. That would be my best guess at this point. And it does seem like a rigged system in that way. And some things are. It's like life's not entirely fair. But the good news is, being if you want to be an opportunist, which is perfectly reasonable, even if it's scummy and disgusting, we're still here first. We were here before BlackRock. Think about that. That's amazing. We're here investing in the most the newest asset class. There hasn't been a new asset class in hundreds of years. We're here before the biggest investment firm on the entire damn planet. Do you like the degree to which this is impactful and can be life-changing? If you play your cards right, it's hard to overstate the importance of all of this that's occurring here right now. So yeah, SEC holding things back, but eventually the floodgates burst open. Eventually this is just part of everyday life. And then there won't be such tremendous life-changing wealth into the decades to come. But there is right now because we're early. That's why. And there's extreme volatility. That's what makes this all possible. It's just incredible stuff as far as I'm concerned. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.